As of the time of recording this video, Nigeria election has just been concluded, the presidential election, and we've seen prophets like the person of Bishop Feyi coming to the scene because of his very popular prophecy, which he gave concerning how the election will be rigged and the person of Bola Tinubu will eventually be arrested, and also Peter Obi will be detained by DSS. And it was quite interesting, because of what is happening. A lot of people actually want this thing to become not just only prophecy, but something that will be materialized. I was going through his channel, and I found a video of how he introduced himself, quite interesting.
All right, hello, Bishop Feyi. The prophet you should have met, the last you need to meet. A quick one on the prophetic. I believe.
Now, we know one thing about the prophetic from a lot of people, which we have seen that function in this office or in this calling or in this anointing. They tend to see there seems to be some kind of, should I call it pride or arrogance. Now, I'm not trying to insinuate that the person of Bishop Feyi is arrogant or is proud or anything of that sort. But come on, let's look at this introduction. I don't really understand what the bishop was trying to pass across here, or what exactly this is line of introduction actually mean. He said is the prophet you should have met and the last one you need to meet. So I don't really understand. Do you really think that kind of introduction is something worthy of emulation? Is something that we can just easily listen to and allow it to pass by? Well, I'm not coming here to criticize the person of Bishop Feyi Daniels before people come for my neck, but then talking about his prophecy, that has been trending for over time, and as of the last time I checked the video on his channel, it has garnered over 200 and something thousand views, and that tells you this has actually reached a whole lot number of people here on this YouTube and even on his Facebook channel, and also other YouTubers that have got to talk about him. So a quick look into his prophecy. He prophesied about the election, how the election will be rigged, but there is something which people are not talking about. I've seen a lot of YouTubers coming to kind of put the man on the pedestal by republicizing his prophecy and making a whole lot of comments about the prophecy. Even I myself, I've also done something about that on my channel here. But then, if you look at his prophecy,
they might not declare publicly, but they will give him all the support that he needs. In the election, number one, in numbers of votes will be Obi. Number two will be Bat. Number three will be Atiku. However, like I told you, it will be rigged, and you hear number one is Bat, number two is Obi, number three is Atiku.
You could see he made mention that the person of Peter Obi, in the order of the rigging, which they want to rig the election, that Peter Obi will come second and Atiku will be third. So Tinubu will be rigged to be first, Peter Obi will be second, and Atiku will be third. But then we all know how the election result came out to be. Now, I'm not trying to insinuate or trying to say that because of this one aspect that the old prophecy is null and void or is actually fake or anything of that sort. But then there are some things which he said in that video which also we have seen them happen, like him talking about a video of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a video of Bola Ahmed Tinubu trending of him. We saw that trend. We also heard him talk about the person of Peter Obi crying on the national TV. Saw a video trending of Peter Obi crying on the national TV. We also saw that happen. But then, one thing about prophecy that I've come to understand, I do believe in prophecy. I do work with prophecy. And as a matter of fact, if you ask me, I am obedient, and I'm also trusting God that somehow Peter Obi is going to come out victorious in the court. But one thing I just want us to understand, because I began to see a lot of people talking about this prophecy, even in my office. All right, I saw people talking about this prophecy. So I just need us to understand, man, these are the words of a man that claimed that God told him some kind of things. We are not there with him as much as we are expecting, and we are trusting, and we are believing that God is going to do something mysterious for the Nigeria, and that a new Nigeria will be bettered, whereby Peter Obi will eventually come out victorious in the court. But I just don't want us to actually put our hope in all these prophecies. Rather than putting our hope in prophecies, there's a need for us to put our hope in the God that gives the prophecy. And speaking about prophecy, what about prophecy that I've come to observe, that I've come to discover even before I start doing YouTube channel is this. For some prophets that are very accurate, they could see something, all right? They could see something from God, and most time the way it is interpreted might actually be wrong. So there are instances of a prophet that could see a thing, okay, what they see is legitimate, but when you begin to see how they give interpretation to it, most time you get to see them wrong. So that is why there's a need for us not just to put our hope and trust on the prophecies of a man, okay, but rather we put our hope and trust in the one that gives the prophecy. So what I'm just trying to do here is basically because I begin to see a trend of people. I begin to see a trend whereby people are publicizing this prophecy, and it looks as though we are moving our focus from the God that gives the prophecy to the instrument itself. So there's a need for us to refocus our attention on know that, well, if it is God that gave it, if it's God that gave it, that gave that prophet, if it's God that gave that prophecy, then we should look up to Him and trust that those things will come to pass. Now, speaking of which, the person of Prophet Uebert Angel has come out to apologize for his response, numerous outbursts, why he was responding to Apostle Arem Osai. And there are some key things which he made mention there. Although in his apology, he said he's not apologizing to the person of Arem Osai, but apologizing to his partners, to his followers, and to his listeners.
And I understand last week I went off a little bit in my delivery, and no matter how justified I was, I didn't need to get there. But at the same time, some things just needed to be addressed. I strongly believe the man is a man of God, he's an apostle of God, but some things need to be addressed.
That's right.
When we go off a little bit, we need to be addressed, especially when we have access to the people we are talking about.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I apologize for that, for not to the men, to my members around the world and those who are partnering with us and those who are prayer partners. I apologize, not to them.
When I actually did that video and I pointed out that, come on, the person of Uebert Angel has actually gone over the board by trying to kind of insult or even say some vulgar words against the person of Apostle Arem Osai and some other pastor that spoke up against Miracle Money. I made mention that he should have focused on the crux of the matter, which is addressing Miracle Money. Since these other prophets, this other apostle and other pastor that spoke up against Miracle Money, they were able to break it down why they feel that Miracle Money is not true, and they gave scriptural reasons. So I made mention of that the person of Uebert Angel should have just remained on that lane explained by the scripture, and I got a whole lot of criticism, people coming to my comment section to say I should shut up, and a whole lot of attack because I actually spoke up something I feel the prophet said which is not right. And now this is the prophet coming to apologize. So I'm also hoping that all those people that came on my comment section to abuse me and to rain some kind of insult should also do so, emulate their prophet and actually apologize to what they said, all those words they poured out against me, and every harsh word they said, and actually come out to apologize. I mean, follow the example of your prophet, actually come to apologize. Well, that is on a lighter note. But then I think what Uebert Angel did was actually commendable, because we saw him coming to say that he believed that Apostle Arem Osai, the person of Apostle Arem Osai, is an apostle of God and is a man of God. But then he's not apologizing to him. Whichever the case may be, I think it's commendable. But however his apology is, I don't understand if that is actually a genuine apology, but we still remain of the fact, we are still of the opinion that whatever the case might be, Miracle Money we have seen him come to do over 9 years, and the one he even did, and the one he even did recently, in OFM is actually faked. Yeah, it's just faked, because we saw the testifier that was actually uncovered by BRG, and we saw that testifier was actually staged. So quite all right. What he did was commendable of a leader, of a church, of a prophet, of a pastor. But then, Miracle Money, we still of the opinion that it's actually fake, and we're not changing our ground on that. Well, I'll be ending this broadcast here, and I want to say from me to you, thank you for being here. If you have made it up to this point, I just want to kindly ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell, hit the subscription button, of course, and share the video, and of course leave your comment. We want to hear everything your opinion. We want to hear everything you have to say, because we do learn from it. And thank you. Until next time on the Potters.